Hello everybody and welcome back. 2-1 the score now between Avenue and Endpoint, as Endpoint have claimed their second map of the day. Avenue is still to arrive on the scoreboard, but it could be here that it happens on Derailed, as we're going to see Endpoint taking on Avenue. Knife hasn't happened yet, so we don't know who's going to start on which side, and this is going to be pretty pivotal. I think the knife round starting on the Axis side here is going to be a pretty big advantage, especially if Avenue can manage to start off there. They're going to get themselves in a good mentality if they can rack up some rounds, and hopefully we'll see them claiming this and bringing it to a fourth map.
Yeah, as always, here for the Blitzkrieg Open Championships at Insomnia 62, and the grand final already looking good for Endpoint. They've got the first two maps through, and we were kind of questioning whether being on the stage would help them or not. They have a couple of the younger players on their side, but they've dealt with the pressure very, very well so far. And also, as we were saying, you know, just being on the stage, helping in terms of not having to go on their own PCs. Don't think the admin's testing anything there. It looked like he was just pressing the same button over and over again. I don't think he's being useful.
You can wave to the camera, Ben.
I think he's just pretending to look useful. He's also just ignored you.
Yeah, absolutely ignored. That's embarrassing.
He's doing his job. Look, it's important.
I think he's just pretending to talk at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Just to spite me.
Imagine how good this will look on the stream if I move my hand like this and pretend I'm doing my job. That's what he said. I'm sure.
He's doing it again. Here we go. Obviously, Endpoint need a stern talking to.
Yeah, but seriously though, Ben doing good on the adminning work as always.
Absolutely.
You know,
Ben and Hench, big shout out to you guys. Been doing a great job adminning over the whole weekend. I think it's been a pretty good stream. First ever LAN for Battalion. We're in the grand final already, and this weekend's really flew by for me. I've really enjoyed casting it, and I think the players have really enjoyed playing it. We've seen a lot of heavy competition and a lot of upsets as well. I mean, we expected to see Penta here pretty much unchallenged, and they were the first to go out of it from the top four, first to go to the losers bracket.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, you said as well, Imperial, you expected to at least get into the top four. I think in the end they ended up finishing in 5th place, getting knocked out of that losers bracket, just missing out on that prize money. But enough about the past. We've got to look forward to the future. We're going to be playing on Derailed here into the next matchup. And again, Derailed, you can certainly see those pre-nades come in. We haven't really seen them be a factor so far throughout this series in particular, but I think it's certainly fair to say that those nades down mid are going to be fairly important. Oftentimes the Axis side will try and get those nades forwards just to make sure that they can get towards that B-bomb site as quickly as possible. And that cinema position also often hotly contested. Oftentimes the B site will be the one under the most threat, and we'll see if that rings true once we actually get into the game.
Indeed, still waiting for the knife to start up. I think players still to join the server. Indeed, one of the Endpoint players at Saint 6 believes he's playing for Avenue at this point. I'm not sure what would prompt that turncoat. And here we go. Should be going underway shortly. I'd feel pretty good for Avenue starting on the Axis side here, to be honest. I mean, they've had about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to think about what's been going wrong, talk about it, and hopefully we're going to see a little less solo play. Indeed, if they do just win those individual battles, things could be completely different for them.
Yeah, exactly. But relying on those individuals certainly is a much more inconsistent way to play if you don't have those trades ready to be lined up. So that's something that is certainly a worry for them. See a very serious looking Avenue now after losing those first two maps. They are all strictly business. Doesn't seem like anyone's really talking though, so clearly they've got their plans already thought through here.
Absolutely. No feed on the knife just yet. Just getting onto the server myself. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen Avenue really struggle on that ally side. So, as you were saying, even if they start Axis, it's not necessarily going to be all that easy for them, because eventually they have to pick up some round on that ally side. They have to be able to push together to get those trades. It would be much easier if they had those nades through, but that hasn't been something they have shown to be able to pull off. So that's a slight issue as well. And, I mean, we're going to have to see if maybe they're a bit more prepared for Derailed in terms of those nades, because yeah, if they don't use those nades, it's much more difficult to be able to successfully make it onto that site.
To give a preview of the map Derailed, it is an insanely axis-sided map. I would probably argue the most axis-sided map that we have in the rotation at the moment. I think the favorite is probably the B site.
Yeah.
To move over towards there, you've got Upper Cinema, which is pretty heavily contested usually, as you're going to see the Axis pushing in there a lot of the time to gain a bit of map control. A usually held a little bit more passively. All the middle area, generally, you'll see just one sniper there. Sometimes a player will go into the connector area. That's the part between middle and second mid, which is over towards A. I think in general, on the B site, you're going to have a lot of nades coming in. It's kind of an airstrike zone. As the allies begin to push over towards it, they can kind of clear out a lot of angles with those nades. The problem being that as they attempt to make their way from spawn to B, they can be slowed down immensely by the grenades from the Axis coming down middle. We often see, I'd say probably 50% of the rounds start off with an Axis nade kill, which means a lot of the time it's an uphill battle for the allies. You're looking for a sniper or a nade to take a nice easy pick, something that isn't tradable by the Axis to claim back that advantage.
I mean, yeah, I think 50% is probably an exaggeration for this matchup in particular, because we've seen both teams somewhat struggle with those nades. But in general, those nade kills can come in, you know, a fair few rounds, I guess we can say. But we also see some Axis aggression occasionally, especially in towards Cinema. It seems like teams are willing to try and push. That's certainly somewhat of a risk, though. We see many times teams be lining up that B push. So if you try and push in towards that Cinema position, over towards that B bomb site, that's going to be a really big risk. If you don't get the kill through, it's going to be a very, very tough to be able to hold on to that B site after losing that opening fight. So that's a worry if you try and go for that aggression, but we've seen teams continually try it. And just to throw something else in the mix on their Axis side, it oftentimes is a decent idea to throw it in, you know, a couple of times, but it's certainly not something you're going to see every round. Oh. Looks like we are ready to head into the action here. So here we go, Adimka picking up the sniper for the Axis side. Icon's getting one for Endpoint, as you would expect. And we will get into the action. It is Avenue starting on this Axis side. This is what you wanted, Mitch. But they eventually are going to have to get some rounds together in the second half. That being said, Adimka already focusing on this first half. Gets the first frag of this map. And as we said, the B play looks likely to come in. That's something you see oftentimes, especially at the start of the round. Allies look to lean towards B, but I also said the Cinema push could happen, and Kozja gets a double. His aggression on that SMG can be vital. When he gets those opening kills, it really helps Avenue dramatically. And in a 5 versus 2, this should be the round almost certainly in their favor.
Absolutely, the round is well in the favor of Avenue at the moment. As we're going to see the last two players looking for picks. They'll be playing together here on the Endpoint side, attempting to trade each other out. And Adimka being spotted there in spawn. What is going on here? 2 kills coming in very quickly. Jay and Sus both picking one up. And now it's going to be Mark attempting to hold off this push. He's done it before, and this is his map. This is where he makes plays, but not this time. Now it's a 2v2. Endpoint looking incredibly strong all of a sudden. And the nade coming in, that's something we don't usually see. Quirks, a man for sight nades. Takes out one. It's only going to be Jay Money looking for the kills, and it will be Kozja taking him down. A good round by Avenue, but I think that was far too close for a 5 versus 2. Coming down to a 2 versus 2 retake with the bomb being on the site. They'll now just grab that sniper card, bring it over to the next round, and Kozja will be going for the defuse. 28 seconds left. He easily has this, and that's the first round in favor of Avenue. On the Axis side, like we said, this is a pretty Axis-sided map, possibly the most Axis-sided map in rotation at the moment. And so it feels pretty good to see them claiming the first round. If Avenue can manage to proceed forward, gathering rounds as they go, they may have a good chance of claiming this map.
Wow.
We've been hit by a spectator bug, it would seem.
Oh, there we go. We've got the second PC set up. As we were saying, though, Kozja stepping up with that 3K on towards that SMG. That was something that was very important yesterday, but Adimka gets the opening kill with the sniper. That could be equally as useful. him finding consistent entries is such an important aspect of this map with that mid play coming in. And that means that they're pretty aware that Endpoint will be unlikely to have crossed mid over towards B because Adimka was in position with that sniper. So Endpoint don't really have too many options available as of yet. With over a minute left on the clock, time is at least on their side, but they have to work their way back from this man disadvantage. And again, this distinctive A site set on the church is going to be pressured. Sus rattling off a couple of shots, but Mark won't take any damage. He is stuck behind this pillar though, so this could be slightly awkward for Mark. Ooh, tapping off the shots, trying to get the kill through. Mark seeing if he can find a kill on the hole. The push coming in, Mark gets one. Not quite going to get the second, he goes out. There is the second for Mark, stepping it up. Pistol out, not going to get the frag. J Money survives on a 10 HP, but the damage is already done. Endpoint down in a 2 versus 4. And Avenue have already rotated over. Endpoint have taken too long to get this bomb down, and that nade could be big. Oh, it bounces back, so it's not going to be too useful yet. But Kozja comes in on the flank, gets them both, and Avenue easily able to rotate.
Another strong round for Avenue as they begin to piece together these rounds. 2-0 moving forward. If they can continue up this advantage, I think we want to see them coming out of this with 8 rounds on the Axis side to look quite good coming into Allied. As we said, the Endpoint side are very strong with nades, especially Fancy. And on a map like Derailed, he may be able to capitalize on that hugely. So far, we haven't seen nades playing too much of a role. The start of round, mid nade's not going to land anything but Mark's nade. That could do some damage, but Endpoint a little bit slow at moving over towards the A site. They just about managed to dodge those nades, but they need to be careful because in comes Mark, the only A site player. If they pick up this kill, it could be an easy, fast push. They're just looking for any kind of aggression, and nothing being offered up just yet by Avenue.
Well, push coming in from Avenue now. Some aggression coming out over towards A. They've got a 3-man stack towards B, but they pushed into Cinema, so the rotate will come back around. Look at Mark, though. Very aggressive, but also very isolated here. He has to be a little bit careful, but he will be able to fall back. And elsewhere, yet again, it's Kozja to get the first kill of the round. That SMG making a big, big difference. If Kozja can step up, he could really be the crucial player for this team. And you can see this SMG continues to clear Cinema, but he's not going to be under threat just yet. Endpoint, though, are looking to get onto the site, but they've got so many positions to clear. Chet already finds one. The backstab comes in from Quirks, and Endpoint just completely collapsing on the push. Adimka has to switch to the pistol, but he's got Chet to assist him, and Avenue taking an incredibly convincing start to Derailed.
Indeed, 3 rounds up. This is the part where Endpoint need to really make a move. Avenue claiming the rounds, widening the gap just a little bit. 3 rounds, not going to be good enough though. They want to be ending this half on about 8, but they're well on track to that. Denying Endpoint pretty convincingly. I don't think we've seen a single incredibly close round. That first one came down to a 2 versus 2 from a 5 versus 2, but still 2 players alive as the round ends. That's going to be pretty good, and Sus getting lit down very low by a start of round nade. It looks like there'll be movement over towards A.
And a little bit of aggression coming in. Certainly, they don't have to push onto this site yet, with plenty of time left on the clock. But Endpoint looking to see if there's a way for them to find an opening here. Icons has that sniper again, so he could look for the first frag, but we're not really seeing the push come through. Both teams just happy to sit back, to be honest. I think finally some aggression comes in. Endpoint wanting to stick together. A leg shot from Adimka, peeks again for a kill. Nade comes in, though. He cannot survive. It's going to be safe to take him down, but Chet is also towards his A-bomb site. He's chimed in with a kill, and Mark is also fighting for the Axis side. So they've got a 4v3. Icons with this sniper is looking for a pick. Misses the shot, though. He's going to have to get a sit kill here to be able to open things up because there's a player pretty close to him. And he doesn't really have too much assistance. Jumping up on the tank, it's Mark to take him down. And again, Avenue looking on point as Mark gets a wallbang headshot through. J Money with the bomb is on the site, but it's not going to be easy to get this bomb down. It's a rather open bomb site.
His position's given away now. There's one player over towards the tank area. He knows this, peeking out to try to get that kill, but Mark yet again, picking up a 3K in that position. That's going to be a 4th round for the Axis. And quite an unusual hold. We just saw 2 players playing towards the tank area, with the mid player falling back and playing in Graveyard. That's not something you usually see. Mid control completely given up. They could have split towards B. They had enough time to cross if they had to push down. But luckily enough, it was an A hit after all. And Dimka managed to fall back just in time to find the players crossing over. And let's see if the start of round nades can do anything this time. We're going to see Endpoint playing very passively, avoiding those nades perfectly. But that is going to allow Kostya and co a little bit of time to play aggressive over towards B. Look at the position Kostya has. He's not expected there by Sus. 50 HP left, though, as he falls back to his teammates. And no opportunity for a kill, really, but the rotations coming over already towards B. 3 players there now. Still a 2-man hold on A, which is pretty standard. And Mark playing a pretty aggressive angle there for the setup that they're playing. Kostya taking fights. He's jumping into 2, though, getting a little bit over aggressive. That's going to make things a little bit awkward now, as we're going to have a pretty passive hold on the B side. Quirks is going to be checked, though, by Saint6, but Saint6 doesn't realize he's there. Turning away just before Quirks is spotted out. His position now known, but Quirks doesn't have to worry about upper. He's going to be able to peek towards the side, taking that kill onto Sus. Chet and Mark also chiming in with a kill, and things falling apart for Endpoint here, as we're going to see J Money in a 1 versus 3. The reload sound coming in, but it's not going to be enough to bait out the peak. As Jay looking anywhere for a kill, and not finding anything just yet, but he has isolated Quirks there. The cross being watched, though, from the door. Waited a little bit too long to push that, as Chet was able to rotate around and grab that kill. Unfortunate, but we are going to see 5-0 being the score, as Avenue are looking incredibly dominant on their Axis side. I did not expect to see them coming with this many rounds. And again, a massive part of the Derailed map is the grenade usage, and we haven't seen anything coming out just yet from the Avenue side. No opening round kills with nades. Not they even gotten a nade kill overall, but they're still walking away with these kills and the rounds. It's incredible.
Well, this time Endpoint will have the sniper. In that previous round, they decided to go for 2 SMGs and no snipers. They were trying to go close towards B, but this time again, the opening kill comes in. It is traded out. Saint surviving on 28 HP there. So it's just a 1-for-1 trade. That's pretty good for Endpoint, but Avenue, considering how good they've looked on their Axis side, will still be comfortable. Oh, Icons, though, with that sniper is going to get another kill in. Again, trades coming back. Kostya finds the refrag. He's got that SMG in towards Cinema, as we've seen plenty of times, but he also has the sniper. Misses the shot, though, so as the push comes in, Kostya has got the SMG. Out there comes the kill. That sniper shot may have baited J Money in there. He was trying to get up close, thinking that Kostya had that sniper in play. But with the SMG coming out, there's nothing he can do. And Sus is now forced to clutch a 1 versus 3.
They're giving him access to Cinema, so now assuming that he is there after covering all the other angles, even though he is on a flank and hasn't made noise, it's not going to matter too much because they expect the angle. He spotted out the barrel there of Adimka, but I don't think he's going to expect Kostya to be here. No, he's not. A great flank from Kostya, and like we said, a man with an SMG that always gets behind you. Kostya has been so consistent with finding frags from behind throughout the tournament, indeed. And now 6-0. Endpoint yet to get on the board on Derailed. They have got the comfort of knowing that they can still bring this to another map, but they don't want to go down to a 2-2 decider. That's a little bit too close. The last map going into overtime really could have swung either way. So they're not going to want to risk bringing the 5th map out to play. The opening kill with the sniper there from Adimka, and again, no nade kills coming in. 50% of the time was clearly an overestimation on my part, as it's not going to hold up here. Endpoint and Avenue not really making use of the nades, but the trade comes back and it's going to be a 4 versus 4 as Saint gets an advanced position in Cinema, with the rest of the team looking to move towards B shortly.
Yeah, Saint getting that kill through is actually very important as well. It's Kostya who gets dropped out of the round. Mark, though, has gone very, very aggressive here. Endpoint are going to try and make this push work for them, but Avenue are very well prepared for this one. This is a pretty common spot from Chet on towards the site, but as the time ticks down, Endpoint have to go for the push now. The bomb plant is so unlikely here, though. Already, Chet going to get the first. There's still a big flank coming through. Endpoint have to be worried about that, but they might not be aware of it. Saint gets a trade kill back. As the time ticks down, they should just be delaying for time here, Avenue, because Mark is coming. Slowly but surely, he's ready to try and assist his teammates. J Money is the man on the site. The bomb will go down. Let's see if Mark's position is going to be as crucial as we expected, because Endpoint have been allowed to get that plant in, so they can just play passively. Mark's still not wanting to make any noise here. First kill comes in, that's Chet to fall down. Mark does give away his position, the shot's coming through, but Mark is going to be known, and there we go. Endpoint finally get their first round on the board. That was actually a 4K from Saint, and that's surprising that Avenue couldn't win that round. They had all the information that it was going to be a push towards that bomb site, and they still cannot hold it off.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. Mark on that flank should have been able to pick up much more, but I think he was just a little bit too slow. Didn't want to give away the kill. We can still see Avenue smiling, though. They have got a 5-round advantage. And I think a pause has come in. Indeed it has, as they're having a chat about what they can do in this round.
So we did see in that previous round, Adimka get that opening in towards mid. We couldn't quite catch how that came through, but it very well could have been through that smoke. Nonetheless, Adimka has been consistently picking up that sniper, so that's something certainly worth mentioning. We haven't seen the Endpoint side really try and fight towards mid with theirs. Generally, I think it's Endpoint who's been trying to smoke in towards mid to get that cross safely, but we saw there at least one kill coming in from Adimka in that previous round. If that's something they can consistently find, it should give them the advantage, but we saw there, Endpoint did manage to get their first round win on the board. As you were saying, though, they're going to need a couple more to feel as safe as possible, because if they don't get that through, then even though Avenue have struggled on their allies' side, they'll be in pretty good shape just with such a dominant half.
Absolutely. 6 rounds on the board for Avenue. Kostya on 9 kills already. The flanks and the SMG plays have been huge from him so far. Still yet to see an opening kill from a nade on either side. And yeah, like you said, Endpoint are going to need to pick up a few more rounds to feel a little bit comfortable. Avenue on 6 rounds right now. It could well be a 6-6 half if Endpoint can continue forward like this. And it's not all too unlikely. But Kostya has spotted Saint crossing over. Sus picking up the opening kill onto Chet. That's going to open the B side up a little bit. And possibly the flank coming around. As Kostya now going to have to start worrying about his back, as he may not be able to cover it, but he's already taken down Saint 6. Now he can just worry about his back as his front is clear. 3 players alive on the allied side. Adimka getting spammed down to 1 HP through that wall before being finished off by Fancy, but the kill comes in from Quirks. That's going to be Sus falling down, and a 2 versus 3. Oh, Mark getting a crucial kill here. All to do for J Money. He's got to find himself 3 kills. He has got the bomb though, so moving over towards the A site. He will be able to get the plant if he can take the opening kill, but Mark is there, sitting, awaiting. And will this be the flank around? As Jay has a lot of options. He can pretty much go anywhere at this point. 32 seconds though. Wherever he goes, he kind of has to commit. He's not going to have time to second guess and push back. Players in upper cinema. Good to spam through that box. The bomb box if he goes for the plant. It's very risky to plant B with low time. So easy to be spammed down. Looks like he's going to be going in. Mark taking the engagement. Jay suspects it. He's still watching it as Mark peeks. And here comes the bomb plant. He's certainly going to get it down, but he will have 2 kills to find Hawk, and that's going to be incredibly difficult as Avenue on a good retake here with the SMG and the STG.
Yeah, Jay rattling off those shots just to get that reload in. That's what you have to do with this weapon. Push going to come in. J Money gets another. Quirks is up close, but the refrag is not there. J Money steps it up. And Endpoint are delighted with that one. A huge 1v3. They get their 2nd round win in a row. And you can see Endpoint starting to feel it a little bit more now. Remember, they don't need too many rounds on this Allies side to get a decent half together. If they can keep this going, they are very much still in this map. And remember, if they can pull this back from the 6-0 disadvantage they were at, they would be champions here. They're just 1 map away from that win. We're already going to see if Adimka can open up this round. The smoke not yet coming in towards mid. Nade comes through as well. This is dangerous. Endpoint trying to cross. Spray comes in, and that's a pretty easy kill for Chet there. Maybe a bit of miscommunication from Endpoint not to smoke that position.
I think the smoke landed just a little bit to the right from Avenue's perspective. It must have bounced off the wall And that's a pretty bad way to lose an opening kill. Just a missed-thrown smoke. Cinema control completely taken here. This is like what we were saying at the start of the game. The Axis will commonly push into Cinema early on and play a little bit passive over towards A. We're going to see Mark playing on A, incredibly passive actually, in one of the most passive spots in all of the maps. One of the least commonly checked as well, I believe. And it looks like pretty even spread from the Allies right now as they're just looking to find kills anywhere. Fancy already pushed up here. Chet just out of view for him. The smoke has come down in Cinema though, so Chet is going to be ready for this push. And here it comes. He's picking up one onto Fancy. He knows there's another player close. Another kill coming in from Adimka. Sus picking up one, but is it going to be enough as they still have 4 kills left to find? The bomb now rotating up towards Cinema. Looks like Icon's going to be going for the flank, but it's not going to matter too much as Sus is left alone in a 1v4. Got to find an ace to win this. We saw J Money clutch out the previous round, but with 10 seconds left, it's looking very unlikely. Being spammed from 3 different angles, it's going to be impossible for Sus. 7-2 now the score, and Avenue looking very good. Said at the start, I'd like to see them pick up 8 rounds, and things will be a little bit easier for them on the Allied side. And I think I'd stand by that. It's looking like it might be even more than 8 though, as a 5-round gap develops. Avenue claiming their 7th round.
And again, we've got snipers on both sides. I believe Icons does have one for Endpoint alongside one into the hands of Erdimka. So we'll see if that mid play comes in again. I don't think that will be the case. And you can see this time Endpoint not crossing yet, although J Money taking a nade down to 16 HP. Into this 10th round, though, we are going to see Endpoint try to stick together as a unit. This is something we don't often see from Avenue on their Allied side. The trade kill is looking likely if Endpoint lose some opening fights, but it's already Mark to get the first. There's a second. Mark steps it up on the site. Eventually the trade comes in, and Adimka misses that first shot, misses again. But still the man advantage thanks to Mark's play on the hold. And you can see Endpoint not feeling too comfortable in terms of being able to get that bomb planted. It's easy to spam through that sight box, so they have to be a little bit worried. But with 52 seconds left, they can afford to try and play for the frags. You can see, though, Avenue with a pretty heavy rotate have 3 players holding this off. The fake plant comes in, Fancy spotted out, takes some damage. Adimka still not connecting these shots, but they're just going to be playing the timers. Oh, Fancy destroys the sniper with the headshot. Chet's going to get another kill through. It's back to a 2v2 after all the trades come in, but Fancy is going to fall, and that leaves Icons with the sniper here. Not an easy position, especially as Kozja is in on the flank. Some really incredible shots coming in from Endpoint, but even with that, Avenue just had way too many bodies already towards that A site.
Indeed, the half now secured for Avenue. They're going to be pretty happy even if they don't win any more rounds in this half, but it's looking pretty likely that they'll take it to 9 or 10. Endpoint going to have to step it up here on their Allied side if they want to have a decent Axis. I mean, at the moment, if they don't win any more rounds, they pretty much have to be flawless on the Axis side. Now, they have been pretty strong throughout all the maps. Their Axis holds have been incredible. Oh, a little bit of damage done on the cross there to Icons. But no kill going to come from it. It's going to be Saint picking up the first kill as Mark falls on the A site. Mark, having made huge plays previously, almost single-handedly winning the rounds for Avenue when the A pushes came in. This could be dangerous, and Saint suspecting that his angle is being watched as the smoke comes over. We're going to see the push towards A very shortly now.
Again, Endpoint's nade usage on point to allow them to sneak up towards the site. Another smoke comes in, so will that allow the bomb to go down? It very well could. You can see Avenue not really being able to do too much. The nade should have been spotted by Fancy, so that will not do too much. And Quirks and Kozja, well, J Money actually gets a double kill in there. It's only Kozja left alive, and Endpoint looking good to get their 3rd round on the board. Remember, they still are fairly far behind here, but if they can get 4 rounds, they're very much still in this map. And Kozja really doesn't have a chance here. I don't think the SMG card is going to be too relevant, so he is going to make his way back towards the site. Fancy is the first man on the hold, but Kozja not spotting him out just yet, sneaking forwards. This should be over, though. 20 seconds left. There's literally nothing he can do. And there we go. The kill comes in from Fancy. So Endpoint I mean, we said that the B site was likely to be the sort of more active one, but Endpoint have had much more success towards A so far.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, we have seen Mark being able to shut down those pushes pretty consistently, where he kind of has to get taken out towards the start of the round if they're going to be able to get over there. He's just winning the fights, taking down at least 2 players on those pushes. He's been a solid player throughout the tournament, and he's continuing it here. But it's going to be the 3rd round for Endpoint, as 8-4 looking possible now. If they can manage to pick up 8-4, things not looking too bad. And Dimka picking up the 1st round, though. Avenue working hard to deny the 4th round for Endpoint.
Wow, Dimka pretty consistently has been able to win that opening fight in towards mid, but after getting that opening, he's pretty happy to just sit back. The man advantage is more than enough for Avenue, but that being said, Mark again gets caught off guard. That's a couple of rounds now where Mark has been caught over towards B. He's been one of the players struggling towards that bomb site. Endpoint don't have to go towards A though, even with that opening kill on towards Mark. They have still got players across the map. But the bomb is certainly over towards the A site. And you can see Icons was trying to lurk, but with the sniper, that's not easy. He gets shot in the back. And that means that Fancy and Sus have to overcome 4 Avenue players. Bomb plant, I think, is being stuck here. Yeah, the bomb looking to go down, and it is allowed to be thanks to the smoke. So if Endpoint get 1 or 2 kills here, they could make this happen. Sus finds one. Pete comes in. Fancy nearly gets the kill, but he's down to 15 HP. The shot is missed. Oh, just for a second there, I thought Adimka was in trouble, but the pistol comes out, and Sus needs an ace. He needs all 5 kills, and that will not be happening. Quirks picks off his head, and a great half for Avenue. They will be pretty happy with that one. 9-3 will be the score.
9-3, a very convincing half so far from Avenue. They're going to be feeling great moving into their allied side. Only 4 rounds needed, but they're still going to have to work hard to beat Endpoint, who've been playing very solidly on their axis so far on most maps. Derailed, I believe they beat them on Derailed. Avenue have beat Endpoint on Derailed previously.
Yeah, I think Avenue picked Derailed against Endpoint in that upper bracket, final. Yeah, so that was certainly something that Avenue have in their back pocket, and it's worked for them to get the lead so far. We are going to see Icons go to the STG, so no sniper in play for the Axis side, and there we go. An opening nade kill comes through. I think that's the first of this map. It's checked to open things up. And you can see that B site already being a point of contact. Quirks gets another kill with a nade. So Avenue just using their nades correctly to open up this site. And J Money is going to have to step up massively. He's trying to find a kill back. Jump comes in. J Money is dead. And that is Avenue completely overwhelming that bomb site.
2 players left on the Axis side. It's not looking too good as they both get taken down within a matter of seconds. That's a 10th round for Avenue, and they're looking so dominant here as they open up the 1st round of the 2nd half with a win. Double digits already reached. Meanwhile, Endpoint on 3. We know already that this is a favorite map of Avenue, so ultimately not the end of the world if Endpoint do lose, but it will go to 2-2 in that case, and it'll all be down to the last map. So Endpoint really need to work on this map to close it up and take it from here, because that 3rd map could, or the 5th map rather, can really just go either way. So far, it's going to be Icons opening up the round with a nice nade kill. The first Axis-sided opener we've seen. Chet trading it back though before eventually being taken down by Saint 6. And the 1-man advantage proceeds towards the Axis with only 1 player holding over towards A, and that is Fancy.
Yeah, Dimka still has that sniper, but we see Kostya pushing up with the SMG. This is a little bit worrying because Fancy on the other side has the full rifle. At this range, he should be favored, but Fancy just playing for information. He was alone towards this site, so he wanted to make sure he got the info and just fell back. This is a cheeky position from Fancy. It's a risky one, playing behind this spot. It's quite difficult to fall back here, but it's also unlikely to be checked. So let's see if Fancy can get a frag through into round 14. Kostya is the closest player on the push, but we're not seeing any aggression come in from Avenue. With 38 seconds left, they're slowly but surely creeping up to that A bomb site.
Kostya yet to move. I think he's afraid he's about to be peeked, but he's not getting any information right now. Question is he going to clear this close left angle? And it doesn't look like he is. Fancy spotting him moving onto the site. He's got the information now. They're going to assume this angle is clear as he gets a shot in the back of Kostya. He's spotted one player moving towards the back of the site, and that's going to be frags coming in. Or at least shots coming in. Nobody capitalizing just yet. Mark managing to save that SMG card, and he's going to get taken down by Fancy. All on a Dimka here. And he gets taken down by Fancy as well. A beautiful round by Fancy with a 3K. Great position. Great patience. Pushing up, spotting out the info, and then taking down the players. It's another round for Endpoint as they come into the second half. 10-4 though, 6 rounds in it. We have seen them chain together rounds consecutively to come back against Avenue previously. Do you think we'll see that again, Hawk?
Yeah, it could still very well be a close map. I think Endpoint again aren't going for the sniper, but yeah, really nice position from Fancy there just to be able to spot the opponents and be safe behind that box. It's the kind of thing you probably only want to use once per half. If it's checked, it's pretty difficult to hold it off, but it's actually 5 STGs here for Endpoint. First kill comes in, Sus, 1 HP. Oh, he gets a second! How has he done that? On 1 HP, that should never have happened. But he goes prone, he makes himself as small a target as possible, and all thanks to Sus, it's the man advantage for Endpoint.
Avenue slowing things down a fair bit. They have spotted out Fancy, but I think he knows he's been spotted. He's going to back off, not giving that opening kill away just yet. And Avenue know that he's fallen back now, that he's not going to be spotting there for information, so he might think that they're pushing up there slowly, so they have an opportunity to move towards a different part of the map and possibly catch somebody on the rotate towards that site. A player in top middle, though, I believe it is Saint 6. He's in a good position to catch some information as they go to peek towards mid. He's going to catch a Dimka in the back if he does peek, but no, he doesn't go for it. And a Dimka with the sniper clearing out the spawn angle. Nothing to be found just yet. J-Money looking towards that spawn. Such passive positions being held by the Axis, but they've been spotted out now. The allies going towards the B site, and their positions are known. A Dimka not going to be able to hit those kills as the push comes in towards B. Look at that position from Icons. He's picking up 1 with it. Not good for a second, but it is going to be Saint 6 with 1. He's going for the second. Not going to get the kill just yet. Being pushed down, the pistol comes out, and that's going to be the kill onto Mark as the 5th round is found for Endpoint. And only 5 rounds in it now, they're starting to come back.
Yeah, that aggression from Saint 6 making the difference. Just that 1 kill alone was enough because there was no time left. So as soon as he got that 1 frag through from that aggressive spot, that was the job done. And, well, Endpoint pretty much controlled that round. They kind of had Avenue locked into the same positions there. And again, I think Endpoint are going to stick with 5 STGs. On the other side of things, Zadimka does have the sniper, but with this smoke coming in, it's not going to be easy for him to find an opening. In fact, Adimka's going to go all the way over towards that B bomb site. Damage being done. Adimka has to regen up. There are 3 players towards B. Oh, one of them being J-Money, who gets a jumping spray to open up the round. And Icons is also thinking of going aggressive. Fights come through elsewhere, but look at the hold. Icons gets them both. The aggression from Endpoint is working really well for them. Even though they're on that defensive Axis side, they are making the plays, and it's working for them. A 5v1, easy to close out. And there we go, 6 rounds now. Slowly but surely, Endpoint pulling this one back.
Avenue going to be getting pretty worried. Only 4 rounds in it. Wouldn't be surprised to see that second pause coming in about now. They're only 3 rounds away from victory and claiming the second map, bringing it to a deciding final map. But Endpoint is starting to catch up. Momentum being gained. Not being stopped by a pause anyways. They're going to hope to shut them down with the weapons. Sus spamming over the cross, not going to find anything just yet, but he's in that close cubby. Doesn't look like they'll be moving towards connector though. Let's see if Jay can get that opening kill yet again. The nade coming in, not going to land onto him. It is actually just a smoke. And the nade following it. No kill just yet though.
Saint going to get the first. Icons finds another. It's a lot of action towards the B site, but it's Endpoint winning the fight. J-Money doesn't get the kill, but Icons steals it away, closes it out with a triple. And Avenue just finding no ground towards B there. As we were saying, we were expecting B to be the most common site to be hit. And that time around, Endpoint were very aware of that. They had 3 players lined up on the hold, and the crossfires worked very well to allow the trades to come in. And Endpoint, they really like going for these 5 STGs. It's probably the most sort of versatile rifle in the game. You can get the spray downs up close, you can get the long-range headshots if your aim is good enough, and clearly with that versatility, Endpoint are happy with all 5 STGs here. Let's see if it continues to work for them.
Indeed, the nade's not coming in though. No connections being made as the push is going to be coming over towards the A side. Fancy is forced to fall back a little bit. And they didn't spot that corner last time. They know that he came behind. They may think that he came from the spawn angle. So let's see if he can pick it up this time. It's going to be Chet, not even Kostya. But the position on site by Saint Six. Look at that. He's behind the bookcase, picking up 1 kill, looking for a second. The spam coming in. It's not going to land though. And now they should know where he is. Reload coming in. Not going to catch him out. It's going to be Sus picking up 1 kill, but there goes the peak from Saint Six. Not going to be landed. It's Quirks and a Dimka. The last 2 alive on the allied side. A good smoke and a block off the graveyard area. And hold on a minute. They're going to be playing a little bit slow because they've got Quirks pushing around. A good flank, but unfortunately it doesn't look like he's going to catch anybody off guard, as they've given up that control of that area of the map.
With 32 seconds left, there is time to work with. Quirks coming back towards the site itself. They really need Quirks to get a kill here. That would make such a big difference. I think Quirks is going to find one. No, Fancy watching that angle. That means Adimka needs to do it all, and that is not possible. Endpoint really starting to feel it now. That's their 4th round win in a row. Both these teams are looking dominant on their Axis side. It's still a 2-round lead for Avenue, but again, really struggling on this allied side.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, on that flank, that was the only angle not being watched by Endpoint. They were aware of both side entrances, and they left the whole of spawn and the main entrance up for grabs for Avenue. It looks like we're going to be going into a pause, as Avenue going to attempt to slow down the momentum of Endpoint, who are only 2 rounds away. And that is spectacular. A 9-3 half coming out for Avenue. And they're just not able to capitalize more than 1 round before Endpoint are right behind them.
Yeah, and interestingly here, I was just taking a look. I mean, Avenue, they have all of their sniper and SMG cards left, but they've not been using them, especially the sniper card for Adimka. He's picked that up, a couple of times, but they don't really want to go for that by the looks of things on their allied side. We have seen them try and go for some quick pushes towards B and try and get up close. That could be part of that, but you can see the pause now coming in, and Avenue looked very, very vocal there. So I think finally they've decided this allied side is not working. We need to take the pause now before we fall behind. Because remember, Avenue still have the 2-round lead. They just need to start getting some round wins.
Absolutely, and it is coming kind of close every time. They're just getting caught out by flanks. Or pretty unlucky, actually, on the flank that did come in, just getting caught out like that. They were holding off 2 angles on the site. The only one that they left was the one that he came to flank. Pretty unfortunate. Looks like the pause is still underway. It should be going shortly indeed. We will be going back live within the next 10 seconds. And let's see if that pause is going to make a difference, as Avenue looking to pick up some rounds now. Maybe they figured out what was going wrong on their allied side. Hopefully they have. Still not picking a sniper, I don't think, on the Axis.
Yeah, no, it seems like Endpoint are really content with just these 5 STGs. They're pretty standard, but they get the job done, and at least they have so far for the Endpoint side of things. You can see the Axis side, well, a couple of kills coming in already. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Nothing too crazy, but the push looks to be lined up here. Don't know if Avenue want to fully commit to this site into this round. See Mark also trying to spot in towards mid. Doesn't look like there's too much action yet. J-Money already found the opening in this round, but he's not going to find anything else as he falls back. It is Icons instead to chime in with a kill on towards Kostya. So it's a man advantage for Endpoint, and Icons has pushed through Cinema. This is such a strong position to be in as the push comes in from Avenue. They're funneled through the 1 angle. And you can see J-Money again using that same position. Jumping up on the box for the 1. Going to peek the corner. Does he clear it? Yes, he does. Nearly lines them up. So much damage, but no kill comes in. Can there be a trade frag, though? It doesn't look likely. So Avenue will get time to regenerate all of their health. But with 28 seconds, they don't have too much time to work with, although they do have time to switch bomb sites if they want to, and it looks like they're going to try and go back towards A.
The problem with this play is that Fancy is there. He can spam down that site, and they're not even going to check the angle that he's in. Look at this. An easy spray down for Fancy as he takes 2 kills, closing that gap. It's going to be 9-10 as Endpoint 1 round away from equalizing with Avenue, who led in the second half opening 9-3. An incredible comeback from Endpoint, and not the first time we've seen them do this. And that's got to be shutting down Avenue's ego pretty quickly. Their morale is going to be very low, giving away that much of an advantage and only claiming 1 round so far in their allied half.
Avenue have picked up quite a few nades here. They've got 5 smokes to work with into this round. And oh, okay then. Sus gets the spray through the smoke. Oh, I was going to say that's a little over-aggressive, and Quirks gets the spam back. That's a very tight corridor, which means that the trade comes in. Kostya also taken down low, looking for the wall bang, but it's Endpoint winning every single fight. Saint 6 goes aggressive, and Adimka is left in a 1 versus 3. Endpoint just keep on winning here. Adimka has to try and clutch it out, and it looks like the scoreline will likely get tied up. And considering how Endpoint have been dominant on this Axis side, they are going to be loving the sound of that.
Indeed, we were talking to Endpoint earlier about tilting, and they were saying that they don't really tilt even when they're down on maps. They stay focused and nobody really gets too angry, with the exception maybe of Fancy. And it looks like that's true. I mean, 9-3, most teams would have almost given up at that point, the 10th round being claimed. 7-round gap, and they're just coming straight back into it. And look at this, it's closed up. J Money, 7 rounds in a row by Endpoint. That is what happens when you keep a positive mentality. They never count themselves out of a game, and that is why it's all tied up at 10-10. And this now, each team 3 rounds away from claiming victory. This is going to be a good game. If Endpoint can win, they will have went 3-0 in the grand finals, and what a performance that would be.
Well, it's pretty inarguable that Endpoint have been the best team throughout the group stages, and Avenue in the playoffs managed to beat them. Endpoint finished 7-0 back into the groups, not losing a single map. And in this final, they might not lose a map again. 10-10, but they are the ones certainly who will be feeling much better about their chances. Push comes in, Quirks holding off, but Saint wins the fight again. Endpoint just cannot lose those opening fights right now. Saint low on health, but the regeneration will come in. Peak comes out, Saint sprays away. How does he get that? That kill comes in with the assistance from Icons, and Saint somehow survives, but elsewhere we have to look towards A. The push coming in, and Endpoint fully rotated there, so the bomb can go down before Endpoint get here. There goes Sus though, another kill coming in. The spam towards the site comes through, and it's Mark and Kostya who have to step up massively in a 2-on-4.
The first fake that we've seen coming out Avenue, successful with it so far, and the shotgun on Mark, picking up 2, he's going for 3! Oh my god, Mark, are you kidding me? It's all going to be on Sus to pick up this round. The bomb defusal, 30 rounds, 30 seconds, he only has 2 kills to find, but one of them is Mark, who's pushing up on him with a shotgun, and there it is, a 4K from Mark. What a play, he's done it before, and once again, A side is owned by Mark. 11-10 now. The Allies looking strong, picking up their second round, 2 rounds away from victory. And it looks like we'll be going to 24 rounds if Endpoint win this. The pause coming in now from Endpoint. They're going to want to make sure that they don't make any mistakes here. No room for errors at this point. If they make one more, if they give one more round away to Avenue, we're going to see overtime at best for them. And losing this map will bring it to a third deciding map.
You can
a
see,
5th deciding map, rather.
Yeah. You can see Mark there was in the middle of your screen, looking confident as ever. I mean, every now and then, Mark just seems to step it up massively with one round that makes such a difference. Really can be that impact player that steps it up. And let's see if that can be the case again. Endpoint, after losing a round, finally decide to switch up their guns slightly. Fancy picks up that SMG. Still some STGs in play for the rest of the team as the push comes in. Sus, ooh, doesn't get the kill. Decides to just fall back. A passive play from Sus there, but certainly worth the risk for the opening pick. Fancy, though, surely will get hunted down. Push coming in. Fancy in trouble. 9 bullets left, and he won't get a kill. They hunt him down, and there was no one there to assist him. So that team play we saw previously from Endpoint not quite coming through. And that means that Avenue have the man advantage, and they also have plenty of time here, so they can absolutely afford to slow this down. Having said that, Endpoint pushing out through B, that could be crucial. As Icons gets that kill, Endpoint know exactly where Avenue are now. They've pushed all the way through B, and they are ready to try and hold off on this A site.
The bomb could go down here, 45 seconds left. The real problem is the spam that can come through. Icon's already picking up a grenade kill, and here comes the spam. Not landing a kill, but Sus getting shot through the smoke there. Now back to a 3v3, a good kill by Chet. A little bit slow now from Endpoint. They can't make a mistake here. They're taking their time. Here comes Saint 6. He's coming up the side. He has backup as well in the form. Oh, it looks like it's going to be Icons, the backup, the last player alive, picking up 1. He's got to find 2 more, but he's not going to find it as a Dimka claims the 12th round for Avenue. And this is looking like we might see map number 5 coming out.
Well, Avenue 1 round away from taking us to a 5th and final decider map. What a way to end this series that would be. Endpoint clearly feeling under the pressure now. They haven't been able to get a couple of rounds in a row at this point. And here we go, the buys coming in. Endpoint again with a fair few nades. They will be thrown out towards mid. Sus switching it up to the car, but J Money gets the first kill with the nade. That could work wonderfully well for Endpoint, just to settle those nerves in such an important round. They know they have the advantage, and as long as they play together, they could very well close this round out and make it close. But actually, Mark survives on 1 HP. Quirks gets a kill back. Oh, Chet gets another one for Avenue. Out of nowhere, they swing things back into a man advantage for the allied side. And Endpoint, even with that opening nade kill, need to overcome this man disadvantage now.
2 man at this stage. Adibka's already picked up a kill onto J Money, and Fancy and Icons left to find. This is looking very bad for Endpoint. And Avenue looking very strong, moving over towards the B side. It looks like it could be a fake though. Chet baiting out this area, attempting to get the rotation over from A, where Fancy is in Mark's previous position. This could be huge from Fancy. He's got to manage to pick up these kills as the push comes in. Mark at the tank. We've got Quirks and a Dimka pushing up slowly. He's going to peek at some stage. Is he going to be checked? It looks like Quirks is coming around to check that angle. Indeed he is! And that's going to be a good kill from Avenue. Completely opening up the side. It's going to be Icons coming up behind one of the Avenue players. He's going to pick off Chet, but he's still got 3 to find. And this is looking like it could be Avenue's round. Indeed it is. Adimka claiming the final kill. Icons falling 13-10 now as Avenue claim their 2nd map and bring this to the final map, a decider on Liberation.
Well, there we go. Endpoint, they were looking good in that second half towards the start of it, but a few rounds go against them, and Avenue managed to pull it back. And you know what that means, Mitch? We've got 1 map to decide this entire grand final. Who's going to get that £5,000? Who's going to get those golden skins? Ooh. I guess we'll have to find out, because both these teams have shown that they can very much play this game. I mean, we saw there so many rounds that came close. Mark in particular, though, that 1 round win, I think that was the difference there.
Absolutely. That was such a huge play from Mark. If that kind of play didn't come in, I don't think they would have come out on top there. But that gives them the confidence and really shuts down Endpoint's perspectives. It looks like we'll be going to a short break before the deciding map on Liberation. And this really is anybody's game at this point. 2-2. The winner of Liberation claiming £5,000 and those all-important golden skins. Catch you in the game.